All right, y'all. So we are back with part 2 of the Baylor Q&A, and I just want to finish answering all these questions that y'all sent me. Y'all done sent me a lot of questions. It's a lot of questions, but I want to answer every single one. So let's get on with part 2 of this. Shout out to Julio Lozano. Shout out to you. I'm just gonna sum up what he asked me. He watched my video. Thank you for watching my video. He wants to know what is the cost, is the tuition, is it expensive? He would like to know if things are affordable. Also, he will be graduating with an associate's degree. Okay, I graduated with an associate's degree as well. And since I am at a early college, high school with my credits transfer. Okay, well, shout out to you, Julio. I also got my associates when I came to Baylor. I think I left that out. I had an associate's degree. Wow, sorry y'all, I left that out. When I transferred over, I had an associate's degree for my junior college. But shout out to you, Julio. We got the same thing. So he asked me, is the school expensive? And that is a question that I get a lot from people because Baylor is an expensive school. When I go online, because it is a private school, most of the time it always costs more. And the tuition is $44,544. And then fees is $4,902. And then room and meals is $13,730. So when you add that up, that's roughly around $63,000, which is a lot of money. Imagine having that for 4 years. But you know what, the good thing about it is that most of the time you don't have to pay that. If you have good grades, they will give you a scholarship, and Baylor does give out a lot of scholarships. I also had an academic scholarship when I came in. I had a transfer scholarship, and I think I had another scholarship. I had 3 different types of scholarships. So they kind of find ways for you to be able to afford to go to school at Baylor. 9 times out of 10, you'll get a scholarship, but if you don't, you can work to get one. You can apply for one as well. So it's credits transfer. So when I came to Baylor, my credits transferred, but I think my GPA started over. So I guess that doesn't matter if you're a freshman. But yes, your credits do transfer over. I think the only ones that didn't transfer over was, I think I had 2 classes that I made a D in, and those didn't transfer over. I had to do those again. So Alexis Bell, she asked me 2 questions. What are some fun activities that Baylor offers? So Baylor does have activities that you can do. I know that they have intramural sports, if you're not on the actual sports team at the school, they have intramural sports. They also have organizations, they have clubs, they have events that happen throughout the year. They have traditions that they have, such as Christmas on 5th, which is something that they do around Christmas, and it's on December 5th, and it's this huge thing, and your family can come, and they have rides there. It's food trucks. They have performances. They have this huge tree that they light up that everybody gathers around, and then it's a countdown, and then a bunch of snow comes falling down. I honestly love Christmas on 5th. And they have it to where you can ride this horse. Santa comes. They have animals. It's a petting zoo. Yeah, Christmas on 5th is fun. I actually love Christmas on 5th. That's something I'm really gonna miss. Wait. Dia del Oso, which is towards the spring. It's where they cancel classes for a day, and basically you just have fun. Most of the time, it's a lot of parties that day. The campus has stuff going on, like they have things going on campus. And then I don't know who it is that does it, but this person, he has it to where he hosts like a concert with a celebrity. I know the first year that I came to Baylor, they had Waka Flocka, and I think, honestly, don't quote me, please do not quote me, I think they had Travis Scott before. So Dia del Oso is also another fun event. They have there for the fraternities and sororities. They host a step show every year. Homecoming is a big thing. What else like that? If you want to talk about the more social party side, there is a place called Scruffs, and that's like kind of like a Baylor spot that everybody goes to. It's a bar. You can go if you're under 21. You just gotta wear a wristband. You gotta pay like $5, I think. And they basically, it's a DJ. They play music. It's kind of like a mini tiny club a little bit, and it's literally like walking distance from Baylor. So you got the football games. It's a lot of it's fun activities at Baylor. Baylor isn't a boring school. It's stuff that you can find to do. Of course, it could be more stuff compared to other colleges, but they got what they got.
Okay, I have to pause. So I feel like there's more activities I can tell you guys about. And one in particular is there is a lake on the Baylor campus. It's like across the street from it, which is in walking distance. It's where all the athletes practice and all that type of stuff. And there's a lake, and they have a section where you can go and canoeing. So in that section, they also have it to where they can fix your bikes if you ride a bike. There's sand, like it's kind of like a tiny mini beach, and you can go canoeing. They also have in the sub, which is where most students hang out. In the basement, they have bowling. They have golf as well. I'm not sure where it is, but I know I've been told that there is an area where you can go and play golf. There's the Slick, which is on campus, and it has it has one huge gym. That's where more of the intramural sports practice. And then there's a gym where it has weights, and they have a track upstairs. It's actually three stories, I believe. And also in the Slick, they have the doctor's office in there. Not that that's an activity, but that's just a fun fact that you guys should know about. You also can go rock climbing. So when you walk in, there's this huge, tall rock climbing, and then there's a smaller one if you're like a beginner. So there's many things that you can do in the Slick. And also there's the Bear Trail, which is a trail around the campus. And if you just want to get like a good morning jog or just any time during the day, you can do that. There is a soccer field on campus if you and your friends want to go play soccer. They also have a tennis court if you want to just go and get a good workout playing tennis with your friends. And then across the street from the campus, which is on the side where the athletes practice and by the law school, there is a Mayborn Museum complex. So you can go do that if you get bored. So there are other activities on campus. I just have not got through to all of them. Just have to throw in my little 2 cents in there. So let's go ahead and get back to the video.
How I get into Baylor, I will do a separate video on that. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. Maya Henderson, she asked a lot of questions, so shout out to you, Maya. I can see that you like basketball because your icon has ball is life. So shout out to you. She asked me how many black people would you say go to Baylor. I'm not sure statistically, but when I look it up, I don't know if this is updated, regularly like every year, but from what I'm seeing right here, it says, but just to give you a glimpse of what I found, they say that 63.6% of the student body is white, 14.2% is Hispanic, 6.2% is black, 5.8 is Asian, 4.6 is two or more races, 0.428 is American Indian or Alaskan Native, and 0.0528 is Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islanders. So that's kind of like a statistics that I found. It's me to talk about the Baylor shuttle. So if you're trying to go to when you go to Baylor, if you live off campus, there is a bus that comes to wherever you stay, but honestly, it depends on the location. The buses do not go everywhere because there are apartments everywhere, of course, and they only go to certain ones. So they go to all the apartments that's on University Parks. So if you go online and you look up the apartments on University Parks, they go to there. And then there are buses that go like around the area of the school. I can't really explain it. And the how you get on a bus is you use this app that's called Also Mobile, and your bus will be a color, and it depends on where you stay. Some buses take about 10-15 minutes to come. Some buses take about 20 to 30. And I know when I stayed closer to the school, it took longer for the buses to come. So most of the time, I just walked to school. So there is transportation, but depending on certain areas like where you live, transportation isn't gonna come. It just depends on where you stay. And also, I know somebody asked me if Baylor takes you, like if the buses take you like around Waco. There are buses that take you around Waco, but I'm not sure how to use them, and I don't think they're Baylor University buses. They're the Waco Transit, so I said that wrong, but they're the Waco buses. I'm going to talk about the game day, so I will be dropping a game day video. I do have lost files of game day footage, and I will be posting that probably this week or next week. And the game days are fun. They are tailgating. They do have tailgating. If you're a freshman, Baylor does have it to where freshmen can run something that's called a Baylor line. And I'll actually insert a little clip right here of the Baylor line. And basically what it is all the incoming freshmen, they get this yellow jersey. And it says the Baylor line, and it has your name in the back of the jersey. They will all get to go down in the field, and they get to run across the football field with everybody in the stands. This is literally the stadium at the football games. And basically when football players come and they run in, they're like, yeah. So basically like the freshmen are on the outside and they're like, yeah. So that's something about Baylor. But our team is pretty good. I think when I first came, our team, we wasn't really the best, but as the years went by, we started to improve and get better. Last year, I think we lost about one or two games, I believe, so which is really good. So game day is fun. I will be dropping a video, so you'll be able to see how game day is. The dining halls, the best dining hall, worst dining hall, eating places, and meal plans. All right, so the dining halls. I didn't eat in the dining halls on campus. I ate at the bank, which is only for athletes. But I know I have ate at a dining hall before. I ate at Penland multiple times, and just in my opinion, I did not like the dining hall food. I feel like Baylor got so much money, they could do better. There are multiple dining halls, and I've heard that Memorial Hall has the best food, so that's what I heard. But I ate at the bank, and the bank, y'all, I love the bank so much. They had so much good food. So if you are an athlete and you're watching this and you want to know about it, the bank had a lot of good food. We had crawfish, we had sushi, we have salmon, baked chicken. Like, it was, y'all. They had everything in the bank, like everything. They have a section where they make smoothies for you. They have a yogurt section, everything. Honestly, the bank was really good. Yeah, I love the bank so much, and it is expensive. Not just with the bank, but with the other dining halls. There are meal plans. You have it to where you can have 90 meals a semester. You have it to where you get to eat every day. It just depends on what you choose. But I know that with me, because I didn't have a car, most of the time people that didn't have a lot of large meal plan, it's because either they had a kitchen or they had a car, or maybe they just didn't want to pay that much. Me, I just kept my big meal plan where I can.
There's also this thing called dining dollars, and depending on what meal plan you get, you will get a certain amount of money. For instance, you can get about 200 worth of dining dollars, and you can use this money for the restaurants on campus, such as Panda Express, Steak and Shake, Common Grounds. They have Witchy Witch on campus, and Moe's Kitchen. So you can use the dining dollars for that, and you can also use it for the snacks on campus as well. So dining dollars are very beneficial. I actually loved them when I was at Baylor.
Another question, what do people usually wear? What is the everyday look? At Baylor, people don't dress up. I never see people dress up like that. Most of the people are wearing t-shirts, sneakers, shorts. I don't see people really dressed up. And I know at other schools, like I know my sister, she went to Hampton University for a year, and she said they dress up every day wearing heels, jeans, and all that type of stuff. But at Baylor, I don't really see that. People just wear whatever they wear. If you want to wear sweats, they be wearing sweats, shorts. It don't matter. Like there's no dress code, no nothing. Like people wear whatever they want to wear. Most of the time, people are dressed comfortably. So yes. Which dorm room did I stay in? I stayed in Texana, which was honestly a great dorm room. It was right next to the library. Do you recommend staying on Baylor University Parks Apartments? All right, so when I first came to Baylor, I wanted to stay there, and I had that choice because I wasn't a freshman. But transfers, most of the time, transfers when they come in, they stay at University Parks. That's how they all meet. I didn't do that. I stayed in the dorms at Texana. So University Parks, it's basically like a dorm, but it's off campus. And would I say that it's nice? It's not a bad looking apartment. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it maybe like a 7. There is a security that's in the front, so like to get in, you have to have your ID, and if you have a guest, like they have to say who they visiting and their room number, and they have to show them their ID and all that type of stuff. So it's kind of like it's a dorm, but it's not a dorm. Like you still got a person kind of watching, like making sure that y'all good. But would I recommend staying in? I mean, I think if you don't want to jump right into like living into a apartment, I think it's a good idea. You know, if you want to just creep your way, tiptoe your way in, I think it's a good idea. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend it. I would recommend staying in University Parks. Waco apartment recommendations. So Waco has a lot of apartments, student apartments at that. I stayed in 3 different apartments. I stayed in the View, the Domain, and Ursa. And my favorite apartment out of all 3 of those was Ursa. I loved it. I stayed in a townhome. It was, y'all don't understand. It has a walk-in closet, like, and they give you like these shelves for you, like over your bed. They give you a desk. Of course, most student apartments they give you like a desk and all that type of stuff. But it was just so nice, and it was 3 stories. So you have the first floor, which is the kitchen, the living room, and then the second floor is 2 rooms, and it depends on. I think it's 4 people that stay in a townhome. It has 2 rooms, and then the third floor has more 2 rooms. So honestly, I loved Ursa. That was my favorite apartments. I know another nice apartment is also Verde, and they're really really nice as well. The view is nice too. Um, they also have U Point. U Point is nice as well. Aspen, but the only thing the Aspen, I think it's called Aspen Heights, or it's just Aspen. Aspen is another nice apartments, but the only thing is the bus don't come to Aspen, so you gotta have a car when you stay there. If you're looking for more affordable apartments, that's a little bit more cheaper. Domain is a very affordable apartment. I stayed there before. Also, Outpost, very affordable apartment, and it's nice as well. Um, I'm trying to think. There are a lot of apartments out there. There are a lot. So yeah, but if I would rate my most favorite one, I would say Ursa. Ursa was my favorite apartment, hands down. Loved it. Favorite apartment. The bus comes there. Loved it. And also, just to let you know, with the whole bus thing, the buses they only run from 7 a.m. to 5. So you gotta get the buses at that time. But there is a late bus that comes that runs around at night from 6 to 2 a.m. But the only thing is, it only goes to University Parks. So that's the only bad thing about it. Like the buses, they don't run all day. So you most of the time you need a ride, or you just gotta walk, which is really bad. So just wanted to let y'all know about that. Should I rent hardback textbooks or rent e-textbooks? So honestly, I think it just depends on how well you learn. Sometimes people learn better with having a physical book, and some people don't. Honestly, when I could get a hard book, I can, but honestly, because Baylor's so expensive, they so expensive. I honestly be trying to cheat my way in and look for the book online. I try to find a PDF online, and just let you know, you can find PDFs online. You don't always have to buy the book. I found most of my books online for free. So just make sure before you buy a textbook that you check online. And as far as choosing whether you want a hardback or ebook, I think it just depends what works best for you. Some people work better with having the actual physical book, and some people it doesn't matter to them. They can do it just by reading it on a computer. So they asked what are the best hangout chill spots. So a lot of the Baylor students, like on the weekends, they go to Scrubs. Also on campus, if you want to just hang and chill, most people they chill in the sub. In the sub, it has food in there. It's restaurants such as Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, I think Steak and Shake, Common Grounds is in there as well. So yeah, and then it's like an area where you eat, and then upstairs it's where most events happen. I can't really explain what it is, but it's 4 flights. You have a basement. That's where you go bowling. They have a bowling alley. It's kind of like a little arcade because there's like pool. It's like a game spot. So that's in the basement, and then you have the restaurants on the second floor, and then the third floor. It's like where people go and they just go study, just talk, hang out, and most of the time in that area, that's where events happen. So like if it's like, for instance, like on Christmas on 5th, Santa Claus, he's in that area. Or like sometimes if there's like a step show or something like that, it happens right there. And so when there's not events happening, of course, like you can just go in and just sit down. And then there's like separate rooms that most students go in. If you want to take a nap, you can do that. You can eat up there. You can do some homework. You can just chill into your next class. And then you have the fourth floor, which are rooms, and most of the time that's where meetings and organizations and all that type of stuff. Most of the time in the sub, that's where the organizations have meetings, where you want to meet up with someone. It's just a building that most people are at. And also another spot that people hang out is Common Grounds, and they have that on campus and they have that off campus, and it's behind the campus, and most of the time students go there for studying. Another spot is I would say the library. Like if you want to study somewhere, a lot of people go to the basement of the library, which is where you can talk. So if you have like group work that you need to do or a project and you don't want to like be quiet, like you can go into the basement of Moody Library, and that's where like you can hang out. There is a mall in Waco. There is Chip and Joanna. That's kind of like a spot that people go take pictures. They go hang out. Also, you have downtown Waco, which is where people go as well. There's different restaurants and all that type of stuff. And then you have Cameron Park. There is a zoo in Waco as well. And then Cameron Park is like this huge park. You can go jog and go run. There's food trucks around that area. And then there's another place that they just opened up last year called the Union. And it's like this place where it's like a mini food court, and it's like a bunch of restaurants inside that you can go in and you can eat. They have vintage spots downtown. There's places to hang out and chill in Waco. Oh, can I survive the first year without a car? Um, ooh, I don't know, because honestly, throughout my years at Baylor, I did not have a car. So I constantly had to depend on people to give me a ride if I needed to go to the store, or like if I'm somewhere and I needed to get home, I had to depend on somebody to give me a ride. But the good thing about it is when you're an incoming freshman and you're on campus, you're kind of close to everything. So of course your classes is right there. You just walk to class. And then across the street, they used to have a bridge, but they tore it down, where students they could walk from their campus and then they go on the other side of the freeway, because this is Baylor, and then there is a freeway, and then on the other side is a bunch of restaurants. So they used to have a bridge where you can walk across, but they took that away because they're doing construction right now. I don't know if they're gonna build it again, But most of the time, you see students they walk on the other side of the freeway, which is a little dangerous. But some people take that risk and they just go to the restaurants and stuff like that. So, could you survive your first year? I think you can, but when it comes to needing to go to the store, I think that's something that's a huge issue for me. It was a huge issue for me, but sometimes some people get lucky. They may have a dorm or a friend that has a car and you have to find rides. Honestly, in my opinion, I would prefer if you have a car, I would say bring it. That's just my opinion. I think a person, if they in college, bring your car if you got the car. So, but you can survive your first year, but I would say try to get a car. Another question is things about clubs and intramurals. So there are intramurals at Baylor. They have volleyball, track, flag football, basketball, and they have more. I think they have more than that. I wasn't involved in them. I think they have. I forgot what it's called. It's like tennis, but it's like with the fluffy things, sort of like that. What is your thoughts on investing in a iPad Pro for taking notes, studying, or should a computer be just fine? I feel like either or is good, but I think it's best to have a computer. Honestly, investing into an iPad, I guess an Apple product is what you're saying. You don't necessarily have to invest into an Apple product. You can just get a regular HP computer. I know when I first came to Baylor, I had my HP computer, but it eventually stopped working. To like get a new laptop, I got a MacBook Pro, and I got it from the bookstore. So Baylor, their bookstore, they do have it to where you can purchase laptop. I think that is best if you do get a laptop because most of the time you want to be able to look at the notes because sometimes professors provide you with the PowerPoints on your Canvas, which is where all your classes are listed online. And sometimes it's best for you to like look on your laptop because sometimes professors can go fast on a lecture, and sometimes you want to type in your notes because it's quicker. But most people they learn better by writing down their notes. But I think that you should get a computer. I think that is best, especially during a time like this during the coronavirus. Of course, we don't know how things are going to change next year, next school year. But I think that, especially during a time like this, I think it's best to invest into a computer. Maya Marie, shout out to you, girl. She said that I find it difficult to get accepted into Baylor. She's from out of state and she thinks that getting accepted is impossible. Girl, getting accepted is never impossible. You're just as capable of getting accepted as anyone else. All you gotta do is just put in the hard work when you're in high school. It's possible. You can do it. If you're out of state, I am not sure because I'm from Texas, so I don't know how it transpires. Like, I don't know what happens if you're out of state. But nevertheless, like, girl, you can get in. You can do it. You're possible. And I pray and hope that you will. I believe in you. You'll get in. So shout out to Maya. Lulu Moo, how friendly were people and was it stressful? The people at Baylor, I mean, they were friendly towards me. I never had any issues at Baylor where people weren't friendly. I'm not going to say it's the most perfect school when it comes to, making friends and all that type of stuff. But, I never really had any issues. Was it stressful? I was stressed. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I was stressful at Baylor. All my years at Baylor, academic wise, I was stressed out. It was very hard for me academically. It's very different. The workload is different. It's not the same. It's hard. So when you come to Baylor, you just gotta come ready to live and breathe and focus on your studies. But also, you will have time for yourself and friends. But I think it got really stressful my second year at Baylor. Also, my last semester, I took 19 hours, so it wasn't the easiest, and that's just my opinion. But everyone is different, so it may not be stressful for others, but I think that if you just focus, keep up with your studies, keep up with your homework, you won't really have a problem with it. Grace, shout out to her, just says Grace. She said, what clubs, activities would you recommend for someone who wants to get in touch with the Black community? You can try getting into the Greek life. They have Roots. You have My Sister and Me, I think. You have the choir. They have a choir.
All right, so they have Roots. They also have an NAACP organization if you want to get involved with that. And if you're like an engineer, they have the National Society of Black Engineers. They have National Association of Black Accountants, Black Journalists. They also had the National Organization for Professional Advancement with Black Chemists and Chemical Engineers. There's also BSU, which stands for Black Student Union, and the purpose for this is it is for Black students. It is to educate the university community on contributions of Black Americans to assist, guide, oriented incoming students, and etc. There's also a choir that you can get involved to. It's a gospel choir. I think it's called Lift Your Voices. It's something like that. I can't really remember, but they also have that. As I said many times before, you also have FaceTime with God, and that's when you can go and fellowship with other Black students. There's another organization called Baylor ASA, which stands for Baylor African Student Association. And along with that, Baylor also has a dance team, which is basically it is African inspired. So there are many of my friends that I've had, they were on this dance team and they go and they perform. And you also can try out for this team as well. And it's part of Baylor ASA. I'm pretty sure there's pretty more organizations and clubs more than just what I told you, but those is what I can let you know for now.
But you definitely can get in touch. The best thing about it is that when you first come to Baylor, they do have a day where they there's an event. What is it called? It start with the mosaic mosaic mixture. That's what it's called. Okay, it's called mosaic mixture. I know I'm saying it wrong, y'all. It's been a minute. And so each day they have it to where, okay, you know, the African Americans, they come together in this event, and then they have like Asians, and then they have, you know, Hispanics. So it's like different days. So I feel like that's the best day where you can be able to see all the organizations and just, you know, associate with people like you. So that's really good, and not just for Black people, for even other races. This was honestly just a question that I got asked within this past summer because of the corona. You know, the corona made our graduation ceremony get canceled, so I was not able to walk and actually celebrate my graduation as you're supposed to. So Michaela, she asked me a couple of questions. She asked me what was my first reaction hearing the news that we weren't gonna have a ceremony. So when I found out that we weren't gonna have a ceremony, it was earlier last spring, and I honestly had that idea. I was like, okay, if we're not going to school, we're not gonna have a ceremony. And so when I found that out, I was like, wow, like I was honestly sad. And so they did tell us, okay, y'all are gonna get to walk in August. And so I was like, okay, you know, we got another opportunity. But of course, it's not the same feeling, you know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, so our ceremony is gonna get pushed to August. And so when August came around, when it got to around late July, they told us that our ceremony is getting canceled. And so I was like, really? Like, y'all canceled our ceremony? And I understand that they can't control the coronavirus and everything and what the government says and all that type of stuff. I understand that. But then again, at the same time, I was just like, you know, y'all canceled our ceremony, but y'all preparing for students to come back to your school. So it kind of like confused me because I was just like, y'all couldn't take the time for us to have a ceremony, but y'all took the time to have students come back to your campus. And they right now they have coronavirus cases. So it kind of, honestly, I was a bit upset because graduation is once in a lifetime, and it doesn't take much for you to have a ceremony. There's some schools, even high schools. I would never want a high school to not experience their graduations, but I'm just giving an example. They decided to have a graduation outside, you know, and I feel like when it comes to college, this is it. After this is it. You know, of course you got grad school, but this is it. And so they took our graduation away. It just honestly, I was pissed. I was more pissed than anything because that's not fair that y'all doing 2020 like that. You know what I mean? But y'all prepared for people to come back to y'all campus, so that's something that really upset me. You know, we won't get this feeling no more. And so after they canceled our artist ceremony, they said, okay, well, y'all will get to walk again whenever we have ceremonies again. And yes, I agree with that. Yes, that's good. But in my head, I'm just like, are y'all gonna make it separate? You know, are 2020 graduates gonna walk with 2021 graduates? Like, how are they gonna do it? You know what I mean? That's years of hard work, and Baylor is not an easy school. Like, it was blood, sweat, and tears. So, yes, I wanted that graduation. So she also asked me, did it ever occur to me to simply decorate my cap. I did decorate my cap. It's so cute. So, y'all want to see it? Hold on. Alright, so this is my cap. I decorated it. It says the chapter begins and then it has Callie on it. It says I'm a fashionista, then it has hashtag track girl. And this is how I look. It's so cute. This is my tassel. It's so cute. Alright, y'all, so that was the last question. And to everybody that gave me compliments on how they enjoyed my vlogs, shout out to y'all. I was reading questions from the Q&A video all the way to all my Baylor videos. So I was trying to get to all of them, and I do apologize for posting this video so late because I know some of you guys were seniors in high school back then, and now y'all are in school at Baylor or maybe at a different college. So I do apologize for that. I'm so glad that you guys asked me these questions. I'm so glad that I can help y'all. And if you feel like that you have more questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comment box. But if you're still here watching it, thank you. Make sure that you like this video, comment, and subscribe. I'm outie. Bye.